Honorable Men Discord. A UFC fighter is unhinged and has a meltdown on an airplane. Let's talk about it. As always, welcome back to another episode. I appreciate everyone who's tuning in. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Please share this channel with your friends and family. And for those who I've recently filmed for a shout out, salute to all of you, including Q from Crate Imprints. But let's get to it. So I came across this video of a UFC fighter on an airplane. He had a meltdown. It appears he had a meltdown. He's yelling at the flight attendants and he's yelling at some patrons on the plane. Let's get to this video and we'll talk about it after.
Assault! Assault! Abuse!
I'm not playing. Go!
You started this!
Bye!
Bullshit! I'm being treated like a black person right now.
Hey folks, if you cannot find that space, just turn around.
Either you call the cops, and I'm calling the cops on you, and I'm hiring a lawyer, or you're don't touch me. I did nothing wrong.
Hey, sit down, man. Sit your ass down.
Yeah, hit me, you lying ass. Hit me.
Right there. Move out the way, baby. Go down to the moon.
You got a wife to stop and hit me. You're a loser. You're trying to get somebody kicked out. You're a loser. He's a loser. Oh, you're fighting me over him? He's trying to fight me. You're a loser. You're a loser. You never did this. You're a loser. Assault! Abuse! Biggest loser I ever met. Getting somebody kicked off the plane. I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
No,
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Oh!
I have to get my bag.
Get your bag and go.
You're a loser. No, she's much better than you. Hey, at least she's taking care of them. Hey, you take care of your kids? Take care of your kids.
No, I'm not playing. Go.
You started this.
Bye.
Hey! Assault! Abuse! Call the cops! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Get off my
Hey! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Nobody touch you! You touch me!
No, like people need to see it.
Thank you! Call a lawyer! Call a lawyer! You assaulted me!
I'm not playing.
You assaulted me! Yes, I am! You piece of fuck you! You are assaulting me! treated like a black person right now.
If you're a man who makes
Wow, 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 wow. Where do I begin with this? All right. Talk about mental health. And I'm not being funny. Wow, wow, wow. Now, if anyone knows which MMA institution, company, however you want to put it, brand he belongs to, let me know, because I'm not familiar with this guy. His name is Aaron Tex Johnson. Maybe it's UFC, maybe it's something else. What is it, Bellator? I don't know how many different brands are out there. I'm only familiar with UFC, and I'm not familiar with all the fighters in UFC, so let me make that clear. I don't even know if Bellator is still around, and if I'm saying it correctly. I'll be honest with you. UFC is the one that I've followed since Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but that's not what this is about. So this gentleman, Aaron Tex Johnson, there's so many layers to this. Let me just address the comment he made while they had him on the stretcher, right? I'm being treated like a black person, right? I don't know what to think about that. I don't know what to think about that. Is that how we're treated? In some cases, yes. I don't know if I should be offended. Yes, I am offended. I am offended. After just a slight thought. I am offended because basically what he's saying is like, I'm not supposed to be on this stretcher. You're treating me like a black person. That type of, you taking me out on a stretcher is reserved for black people. So yes, I'm offended because I know that's exactly what he meant. If I'm wrong, let's talk about it in the comments if you think I'm wrong in my sentiment and thinking that that's what he meant. I believe that's what he meant. You treated me like a black person. And there's so many layers to him saying that. That's also like saying, I'm above this. You treated me like I'm some black person. This type of treatment, period, is for those that are beneath me, beneath my race. There's so many ways to dissect what he's trying to say when he said that, right? Now, I'm going to say he had a meltdown. I think it's clear he had a meltdown. This is not normal behavior, all right? And nowadays in 2025, what exactly is normal behavior? That's another discussion. But that's not normal. And when I say normal, that's not commonplace behavior. All right? Commonplace is everyone, there might be like light chatter whilst the flight attendants get ready to, give you the whole speech on how to buckle yourself properly, etc., etc. That's not the normal behavior. I've been on several flights. That's not normal behavior. Another thing that stuck out to me, and I would love to hear from the gentleman, you gentlemen, is I notice the person he's arguing with, I'm assuming is a male, right? I could barely see the guy he was arguing with, or the female, but I believe it was a male he was arguing with. That's what made him sit up on his seat and direct his energy towards the man, right? But the flight attendant is the one who got it under control. She made contact and put her hands on him, which I have a past history of teaching de-escalation, and that is not actually what you want to do when someone's irate, is make contact with them. The only reason why I think it worked in her case is because she's a female, and as irate as he is, and although it appears that he's having an extreme meltdown, he does seem to have reserve. He was able to reserve his anger towards a female because she made contact with him, and I think he said, why are you touching me, right? And then he went as far as saying, he was chanting, he was yelling out something, I'm attacked or something like that. I forgot exactly what he said. But the only reason why that worked is because she's a female. I think had a male passenger held his wrist or tried to make contact with him, it would have went left. And so part of me watching the video, the female employees, and I think this is a Southwest flight, the female employees, flight attendants or what have you, they're the ones controlling the de-escalation. And in this case, I think it worked because they got him to leave the plane. And the blonde woman is the one that made the most contact with this guy. She was all in his face, and you know, I applaud her. She's brave because I'm pretty sure she doesn't know this guy is a MMA fighter that is unhinged. That's like the two combinations is horrible. It's bad enough dealing with a man, a grown man that's unhinged, much less a grown man that's unhinged that's trained in mixed martial arts. Let's just be clear. And for those gentlemen that's on the plane, you know, I don't know if it's out of fear or they were just allowing staff to take care of the situation, but I'm glad they didn't get involved because it was clear he was trying to bait the guy into doing something because he wanted to hurt the guy. All right, and that guy wouldn't have seen what was coming. He would have been blindsided by the fact that this is not just a regular guy who's upset. This is a trained MMA fighter, right? And the reason why I'm emphasizing the fact that he's a trained MMA fighter is because the takeaway from this video, and I know there's going to be people that disagree with me, but that's what this channel's for. Just keep it respectful when you disagree. Gentlemen, no one's here to promote being a coward, but you just never know who you're going to be interacting with in the street. First of all, you don't know who's armed. In this case, it's a plane, so we could assume he doesn't have a knife or a firearm. But had he been acting a rate like this in the street, you just never know what a person has. And I know there's guys out there that's like, I could match the energy. You know, congratulations, but you're living life on the edge. And you got to really choose your battles. That's my suggestion to some of you guys. You could disagree with me. You could feel how you feel about it. But let's talk about it in the comments. How would you have approached this situation? Again, the female flight attendants are the ones that de-escalated it all the way to the end. They got him out the airplane. Obviously, he somewhat voluntarily exited the airplane also because the females could not take this man out the airplane. Let's just be clear with that. All right? But he did know the plane wasn't going to move whilst he was acting like this because in situations like this, if he chose to just sit in his seat and disrespect the female flight attendants, authorities were alerted regardless, and they would eventually have gone onto the plane and got him out of there. You know, they would have probably been wearing tactical gear or whatever, and they would have gotten him off the plane. But it's crazy to think that someone that's trained is unhinged like this. I mean, you could just imagine someone, you know, in martial arts in a different fraction or sector of hand-to-hand combat, a boxer or something like that. You know, you just go on, so on and so forth. Being just as unhinged as he was, irate on a plane. All right, the everyday person who, even if you're an everyday guy who's you're fairly good with your hands, if you would have stepped in and had to deal with this guy, it could have been fatal, to be honest with you. It could have been fatal because who knows how he would strike you. Because he's trained, you know. But this, I've never seen anything to this magnitude. I've seen plenty of videos of people being escorted off the plane. I've seen domestic disputes on a plane. But an MMA fighter, it's like I don't even know what analogy to compare it to. It's insane. His actions are insane. He clearly needs help. If you disagree with me, I'll see you in the comments. You explain to me how this is not a sign that this guy needs help. And I really would like to know everyone's thoughts on this, because I noticed also at the end, once the female staff got him out the plane, it seems as though he was still in that area because he's yelling at them, cursing at them. And if you notice, pilot doesn't get involved, who's a man. I saw the pilot stand there as a man. I saw two African-American men in the aisle. One came towards the end and he was checking on, he's asking the women, is everything okay? Maybe he was further back in the plane. But gentlemen, what's your thoughts on this? I'm not here to critique the men, but I want to know your thoughts. Those of you that watch this, did the men act appropriately? Put yourself in the situation if you're on the plane with your family. Obviously, your family comes first. So if your family is not threatened by this, let's say your family's safe, they're sitting behind you, a few rows behind you, or they're beside you, and this is happening in front of the plane. As a man, are you getting involved? If you're getting involved, why are you getting involved? How would you handle it? I would like to hear this in the comments. I honestly would like to hear this in the comments. Because let's be honest, this is real life situations. This could happen on any flight. How are you as a man handling this? And for those of you who have a bravado where you're like, I'm taking him off the plane, or I'm not worried about him being an MMA fighter. Just keep in mind that you don't know this about the guy. We know this because this is reported on the news, and so we know everything about him, including his name, his nickname that he goes by, I guess, Tex. Whilst he's a fighter, as a fighter, he goes by Tex. But this could be any person on an airplane. For those of you that live in cities with trains, mass transit, it could be he could be unhinged on a bus. How are you handling this? Right? Now, by all means, I want to believe, if he would have struck the female attendants, I do believe men would have stood up and tried to defuse the situation and restrain him. They would have did the best they could. I do believe that. I'd like to believe that. All right. What's your thoughts on this? I'll see you in the comments. That's all I have on this. I just had to put this out there because I've never seen anything as bizarre as this. All right. But that's all I have on this. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. As always, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notifications, tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop videos every day, daily, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Salute to everyone. Appreciate you all. See you in the next episode.